Welcome back, everyone. In today's module, we are stepping away from the purely mechanical rules of the camera, away from f-stops, histograms, and millimeter values, and stepping directly into the heart of photography as a living, breathing, visual art form. We are going to explore a philosophy that completely revolutionized how we capture the world, the concept of the decisive moment, pioneered by the legendary master of street photography, Henri Cartier-Bresson. For anyone just starting out, the sheer speed of the street can feel completely overwhelming. The world moves fast, people move unpredictably, and light changes constantly. Henri Cartier-Bresson gave us a beautiful way to navigate this chaos. He defined the decisive moment as that precise fraction of a second where the elements in motion before your lens sort of comes together in perfect harmony, balance, and emotional weight. It is the exact instant when your mind recognizes the deep significance of an event, and simultaneously the perfect geometric layout of lines, shapes, and figures that give that event its proper expression. If you click too early, the story isn't fully formed, but if you click a second too late, the moment is gone forever, completely unrepeatable. So, as beginner students of photography, it is incredibly easy to get trapped in a loop of technical anxiety. I've been there. You might find yourself constantly worrying if your focus is mathematically sharp, if your exposure is technically flawless, or if your settings are textbook perfect, or if you have the right lens or the right camera. Do you have a DSLR or mirrorless? To be honest, all of these are important, but the most important part is the soul of the photography, the intention and the intent of the artist. All of that actually sort of becomes the foundation where you can actually build all these ideas through technical manipulation. A perfectly sharp, flawlessly lit photograph can be entirely lifeless if it lacks a soul, an idea, or a heartbeat. For example, you can literally go online and look up beautiful photos of landscapes, amazing portrait shots, but these photos are for sale for stock usage. These photos are technically flawless, but no one would want to pay to go look at them at a museum or a gallery or consider them as art. So, technical perfection doesn't really equate to being a photo artist. But a photographer could be technically perfect if the only goal is to be an event photographer or to sell their photos online as in stock image gallery to be used by many video content creators and educators like myself. So I am not judging anyone, but there is a difference between a photographer for hire versus a photographer who is an artist. But to be honest, these lines are often blurry. So a photographer who is for hire would also pay their bills, but also do something for their soul. So I don't really want to go too deep into this distinction, but I want you guys to know before you actually go on to your own personal creative journey with the camera. Conversely, a street photograph that is slightly out of focus, a bit grainy, or heavy with motion blur can actually be an absolute masterpiece if it captures a raw, fleeting human emotion or an incredible graphic composition. Your primary job out on the street is not to act like a computer recording data. Your job is to feel the rhythm of the space and capture the poetry of everyday life. That's the credo of Henri Cartier-Bresson. To achieve this, you have to actively sort of train what I call is your visual brain. Photography is not merely an act of pointing and clicking. It is an act of deep, deliberate observation. Your visual brain is trained when you put your phone away, walk through a crowd, and start noticing the geometry around you. Watch for repetition, leading lines, and patterns in urban landscape all around us. When you train your visual brain, you learn to stop reacting to things after they happen. Instead, you begin to anticipate them. You see someone walking down the block, you notice a beautiful patch of directional ambient light cutting between buildings just ahead of them, and your visual brain tells you exactly where to frame your shot, adjust your composition, and wait patiently for the person to step perfectly into the frame. Now, you definitely knowing how your camera works will help you here. But after you learn all the basic techniques of how a camera works, you have to let this gut feeling, this creative idea, oh, this moment is perfect, follow that instinct and take that shot. And then think later about how do you want to adjust them on Photoshop or Lightroom. Try to move away from technical correction. Instead, chase the accidental photo, the contrast, the layout of the shapes, the brief, beautiful sort of collisions of imperfections, or maybe perfect moments for you. So train your visual brain to see the art in the ordinary, wait for that perfect alignment of form and feeling, and capture your own decisive moments.